Hello everyone, how are you all? This is your educator G. Vijaya Manorama. So today we are going to discuss the second part of control and coordination chapter of class 10th. So in the previous class we have discussed how the coordination in plants takes place. So in a detailed way we have discussed. So today part 2, that is how it takes place in animals. Okay. So let us start. So all the multicellular animals, they have specialized cells called as nerve cells, okay, which are also called as neurons. They respond to stimuli and coordinate all the activities. So this system, which is made up of all the nerve cells, is called as nervous system. Okay. So the control and coordination which takes place in the higher animals are called as vertebrates. Okay, vertebrates including human beings also called as vertebrates only, so which takes place through nervous system as well as hormonal system, which is also called as endocrine system. Okay, so in detail we are going to discuss about the control and coordination in human beings. So each and every means, if we see our human body, we have 5 sense organs like eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. Okay, so we receive the informations from the surroundings and we feel with the help of these sense organs. So these sense organs, they contains the receptors. So what are receptors? Stimuli are detected by a group of cells which are called as receptors. So this receptor is a cell or a group of cells in a sense organs which is sensitive to a particular type of stimulus like light, sound, smell, taste, touch, pain, temperature, pressure, these all. Okay, so these are the senses which we can feel with the help of our sense organs. So these can be sensed with the receptors. There are 5 receptors: light, which can detect; photoreceptors, phono means sound, phono means sound, receptors which can detect the sounds. Next, olfactory, smell. It is like a recap of the previous class and continuation of the new session. Understood? So next, tongue can be taste. Okay, tongue can be, it can detect the taste. So skin can detect the temperature, thermoreceptor, which can detect the touch, pressure, temperature, everything. The common receptors are like photoreceptor, phonoreceptor, olfactory receptors and thermoreceptor, thigmo, which we can touch. These photoreceptors can detect light, phono can detect the sound, olfactory can detect the smell. This gustatory receptors are another which can detect the taste. Another taste is gustatory receptor which can detect the taste. Okay, so the stimulus is a kind of energy such as like light, sound, smell, taste, heat, pressure which can be mechanical, also mechanical pressure or heat. So these receptors, they contain the group of cells which are sensitive to the energy which were provided by these all stimulus. Okay, so all the receptors in the sense organ, they receive the stimuli from the surroundings and send the messages which are conveyed by them to the spinal cord and brain. Okay, these to receive the complete information, and this information is in the form of electric impulses. This information is in the form of electric impulses. Okay, through the sensory nerves. So an effector is a part which can respond to the stimuli according to the instructions sent by the nervous system. So this nervous system, which is included with spinal cord and brain. Nervous system it is. Okay, so effectors are mainly the muscles and the glands which are present in our body. They respond to the electric impulses which are sent by the nervous system through which nerves they are called as motor nerves. Okay, they are called as motor nerves. So this is about the introduction which takes place in the coordination in animals. So now we are going to discuss about the human nervous system. Actually, the coordination of all the activities in the human beings takes place in two ways, as we have discussed: nervous system and endocrine system or hormonal system. Okay, this nervous system and endocrine system, they both together work to control and coordinate all the activities which takes place as physical actions or the thinking process or the emotional behavior. Everything in a systematic way it takes place only because of the two systems which are called as nervous system and endocrine system. So what is nervous system? What is nervous system? A system which is made up of nerve cells. Okay, nerve cell is the functional unit of everything. Nerve cells. Understand? Okay, a system made up of nerve cells is called as nervous system. So that nervous system, function of that nervous system is to coordinate the activities which takes place in our body. It is the controlled system for all the actions, thinking and behavior. So this nervous system receives information from the surroundings, processes it, interprets it and then responds accordingly. Okay, so it helps us all the other systems of our body to work in a proper way together. Okay, so the human nervous system, it receives the information from the surroundings, it processes it, it interprets it and then respond accordingly. Understand? So any information which is processed from our internal system to another, that can be processed with the nervous system only. For example, when you are keeping the food in the mouth, immediately it causes the release of saliva. Anyone is telling to produce saliva? No, because it is the nervous system and the endocrine system which together they work. They receive the information of receiving the food. Immediately the food will be chewed with the help of muscles and teeth. Tongue is a muscle. Okay, so with the help of these, it will masticate the food. It will make it very soft by the lubricant which is called as saliva, which is produced by the salivary glands. So these all processes are controlled by the nervous system only. What is the main unit of nervous system? It is neuron. So nervous system is made up of special cells called as neuron, as right from the beginning of the class I am just telling that. So neuron is the largest cell present in the body. Neuron is the largest cell. See this one, you can see how it is how it works. So this neuron is the largest cell which is present in the body, which looks like as an electric wire only. It contains the three basic parts: cell body, dendrites and axon. This neuron, it contains the basic parts as any other animal cell, but their structure is very specialized, which is adapted to carry the messages over a large distances in our body very quickly. Okay, so this neuron carry the messages in the form of electric signals, which are called as electric impulses or nerve impulses, which is called as electric impulses or nerve impulse. In the form of electric impulse or nerve impulse only, it carry out the messages from one cell to another. So this neuron or the nerve cell has three components: cell body, dendrites and axon. Okay, the messages which this neuron transmits in the nervous system are in the form of electric impulses or nerve impulses only. So these dendrites are there now. This is a star-like structure in the middle. nucleus is there, it has a cell body, okay, which is here in this cytoplasm it is filled. It has a myelin sheet for insulation and protection. Myelin sheet is for insulation and protection. Okay. So these dendrites, here are the dendrites, the root-like structure which you are finding here. Dendrites pick up the nerve impulses from the receptor. It collects the information from the receptor. So they passes the impulse to the cell body. Here is the cell body. Passes the information to the cell body, and then along the axon only it passes. So the axon passes the impulse or the message. Impulse is nothing but the electric impulses, means the message only carrying, right? So to another neuron through a junction called synapse. So about that synapse also in detail we are going to discuss. Don't worry, in the next slide. So this neuron is of three types: sensory neuron, motor neuron and relay neuron. How many types of neurons are there? Once you write down in the chat box. Sensory neuron, yellow. There are three types of neurons. Sensory neurons. Next one is motor neurons, and the third one is relay neurons. The sensory neurons will transport the message from the sensory cells, means receptors, okay, towards the central nervous system, that is spinal cord and brain. Central nervous system means what? Spinal cord and brain. Okay. Next one is motor neurons. It transmits the messages from the central nervous system towards the muscle cells. Okay. First one is carrying sensory cells. Sensory neurons are carrying the information from sensory cells to central nervous system. Okay, central nervous system is related to the spinal cord and brain. So next, motor neurons is carrying the information from the central nervous system to the muscle cells. Muscle cells are nothing but the effectors. Okay. Next one is relay neurons, which occurs in the central nervous system, which is related to the spinal cord, brain and spinal cord. So where they serve as a links between other neurons. Okay, relay neurons will carry the information where they serve as the links between other neurons. Okay, so let us see how this information, nerve impulses are transferred from one neuron to another in the nervous system. So here the information is, see this small video, you can see and understand. So nerve impulses, which are nothing but the messages, are transformed from one neuron to another neuron, that is only the nervous system, right? So the microscopic gap which is present, see here the information passed like this through the cell body, it reached to the here. See the very small gap, a microscopic gap between a pair of adjacent neurons over which nerve impulses passes when going from one neuron to the next is called as synapse. Okay. So here is these are the nerve endings. Okay, these are dendrites carrying the information through this axon. It has a myelin sheet also, and it has given the information to the another nerve cell. Okay, so this synapse which ensures that nerve impulses travel only in one direction through a particular set of neurons. Okay, so the receptor in the, here is the how the information is passing. From here it has received and passes like this. Okay, so the receptor in a sense organ is in touch with the dendrites of sensory neuron. So when a stimulus acts on the receptor, a chemical reaction is set off which produces the electric impulse which carries from the dendrites to the sensory neuron. This is the sensory neuron, it is carrying the electric impulse then release a tiny amount of chemical substance. Here the tiny amount of chemical substance which it is produced into the gap. That gap is nothing but the synapse. Okay, so this chemical substance, what it will do, it cross the gap. It will cross the gap and starts a similar electric impulse in the dendrite of the next neuron. So here, from here the message is received, it passed like this and it has given the information to the another nerve cell, right? From the dendrite, see again the same thing, it continues. Okay, so synapse actually act like one way valve only, because the chemical substance which is present on one side of the gap, okay, as the substance is carrying from this to this, that's why the information and synapse actually it is called as like one way valve it is. Okay, so the nerve himself through the particular set of neurons can go across only from one side. So synapse ensures the nerve impulses travel only in one direction through a particular set of neurons. So this is about the information, how it is passing from one nerve cell to another nerve cell through synapse. Okay, next, now come to the nervous system. So the main organs which are included in the nervous system are brain, spinal cord, and here it is, brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Okay, these are the three things, three means main organs which are included in the nervous system, that is brain, spinal cord, and nerve. So the brain and spinal cord are connected to all the sense organs and other parts of our body by millions of nerves. They are connected with each and every nerve, it is connected all the. So there are mainly two types of nerve cells. They are cranial, so there are two types of nerves which are present in our body: cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Okay, cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So these cranial nerves which connect to all the parts of the body in the head directly to brain. Okay, cranial, cray. So this sound is related to the brain only. So next one is spinal nerves, which are connected to all the remaining parts of the body, like muscles and skin. It is connected to the spinal cord. Okay, to the spinal cord it is connected. So there is a third type of nerve which is called a visceral nerves. Visceral nerves which are connected to the internal organs of the body. Okay, so there are three types of nerves: cranial nerves, spinal nerves, and visceral nerves. So cranial nerves are connected to all the parts of the body, all the parts in the head only directly to the brain. So next one is spinal nerves which are connected to remaining parts of the body like muscles and skin. To the spinal cord it is connected, and the third one is visceral nerves which are connected to all the internal organs of the body. Okay, so these cranial nerves, spinal nerves, and visceral nerves are of two types of sensory nerves and motor cells. Okay, these are also two types of sensory nerves and motor cells only. So these nerves, they carry the message from the body parts to the brain or spinal cord, are called as sensory nerves, and the nerves which carry the message from brain to the body parts for the action, they are called as motor nerves. Okay, so फटाफट से कमेंट सेक्शन में लिख दो व्हाट इज मोटर नर्व्स एंड व्हाट आर सेंसरी नर्व्स. Okay, definition of motor nerves and sensory nerves, just write down in the comment section. Okay, so let us see how this nervous system is working. So when the sense organ, what are the sense organs? Eyes, ears, nose, skin, tongue, these all are the sense organs which can in our body, they are affected, which sends the message to the brain in the form of a nerve impulse or electric impulse through the sensory neuron. Okay, so the brain analyzes this message and decides the action to be taken. So when you touch, for example, when you touch any hot object, immediately you are receiving the you are pulling your hand back. So how it is happening? Because of the information which is reaching to the brain in the form of nerve impulse through the sensory neurons. Okay, sensory neurons with the help of sense organs only, right? So the brain then sends out the instructions to the muscles of the concentrated concerned body part in a concentrated way to take the necessary action through the motor nerves. Motor nerves will make you to pull your hand back when you are touching any hot object, right? So that concerned body part will act accordingly to the instruction. Okay, so that is only how the nervous system it works. So in the simple responses which do not require thinking, the spinal cord alone is involved. Okay, much not think. See, every day you are going to school through a path. On the way there was a hole. Unknowingly, just you are talking with your friend and you cross that, because every day it is just you are crossing that and going. So it need not to go the information till the brain, only spinal cord can react. Okay, in the process of complicated responses, both the brain and spinal cord are involved, but for the simple responses, spinal cord only reacts, brain is not involved. Okay, so there are two main parts of the nervous system. If we see, there are two main types. They are divided, this nervous system is divided into two different types: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So this central nervous system, which is included totally with the brain and spinal cord, which we can understand in the next part. First, let us learn about peripheral nervous system, which is again divided into automatic nervous system and somatic nervous system. This automatic nervous system is again divided into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So in detail we will not go, just in brief we are going to discuss in this class. Okay, come to the peripheral nervous system. What does the peripheral nervous system do? It connects the central nervous system to the organs, limbs and the skin. Okay, so allows the brain and spinal cord to receive and send information to the other areas of the body. Next, this peripheral nervous system will carry sensory and motor information to and from the central nervous system. And the last but not the least, very important, regulates the involuntary body functions like heartbeat and breathing. Okay, so all the nerves of the body together make up the peripheral nervous system, which is also written as PNS. Which is also known as PNS. So they all enter or leave the central nervous system. Okay, so there are three types of nerves which make the peripheral nervous system. All the three types: spinal nerves, cranial nerves and visceral nerves. So spinal nerves will arise from the spinal cord along most of the length of the spinal cord and spread throughout the body. They carry both the sensory and motor neurons and they are described as mixed nerves. Okay, the visceral nerves are special kind of nerves which are connected to which mostly arises from the spinal cord only, through some also arise from the brain. So they are connected with the internal organs. They carry both the sensory and motor neurons. So this is about the peripheral nervous system. So peripheral nervous system also included with all the three types of nerves only. All the three types of nerves only. So this functions. How this peripheral nervous system, what does it do? These 4 points are very, very important. Okay, these 4 points you need to understand. So the neurons of peripheral nervous system include both motor neurons and sensory neurons. Just understand this. So the fibers of motor and sensory neurons are bundled together into nerves which are of two types, like already we have discussed: cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Okay, so next come to the reflex actions. What are reflex actions and what are reflex arc? This is very, very important topic. and very easy also. So this reflex action, which can be defined as the spontaneous, automatic and mechanical response to the stimuli, which is controlled by the spinal cord without the involvement of the brain. Okay, so common examples these are blinking of eyes, sneezing, coughing, watering of the mouth. When you see pani puri, immediately it starts, your mouth start watering. No, immediate withdrawal of the hand, withdrawal of the leg, knee jerks, reflex action, knee jerks reflex. Okay, tapping under the tree. So generally, this reflex action, the key difference between a reflex action and a voluntary action. So there is a small difference in between the reflex action and voluntary action that we'll discuss after the reflex arc. Okay, so how this reflex arc takes place, that also we'll see. The pathway taken by the nerve impulses in a reflex action, it is called as reflex arc. So main 5 components are included in the reflex arc: receptors or the sensory organs. Next one is sensory or afferent nerve, relay neurons of the spinal cord, motor nerves, okay, and effector organs. So these all the parts are included, all the components are included here. What happens here, this small video you can see and understand. Stimulus received by the sensory receptor, that passes, impulse is generated and carried along by the sensory neurons, which passes to the spinal cord along with the dorsal root. Next, this impulse arrives to the nerve ending of the sensory neurons. Then the impulse passes across the relay neuron to the motor neuron via synapse which is connected. Then this impulse carries along with the motor neurons from the spinal cord along with the root part. Then the nerve ending of the motor neuron which connects the effector organ. Then the response is produced by the effector organ or that particular muscle. Okay. So these are the 5 components which are included here. You can see this is the reflex arc. Reflex arc. The pathway which is followed by the sensory and motor nerves of the reflex action is called as reflex arc. Okay. So receptor, sensory nerve, relay nerves of the spinal cord, motor nerves and effector organ are the components of the reflex arc. Okay, so this motor nerves, what are motor nerves? One more time, which carries the information from the brain and spinal cord to the effectors. Effectors are nothing but the muscles and the glands. Here you can see how this reflect spinal arc, spinal reflex arc and reflex action it takes place. So the reflexes of this type which involves only a spinal cord are called as spinal reflex. Okay, blinking of eyes you can see, this is the cerebral reflex. Cerebral reflex, right? Reflex action which involves brain are called as cerebral reflex. The contraction of the pupil of our eye automatically in the presence of bright light is an example of cerebral reflex. Okay, so here spinal reflex, here this is the spinal reflex. The reflex which involve only the spinal cord is called as spinal reflex. These two are very very important. This thing you can remember easily. So this diagram you can draw and you can understand. Okay, next come to the automatic nervous system. Automatic nervous system, the word itself you can understand, the controls and regulates the functions of the internal organs of a body involuntarily. Involuntarily, all the controls and regulations of the functions of all the internal organs will take place. It is a self-governing nervous system. It is called as automatic nervous system, is also called as self-governing nervous system. So autonomic nervous system which includes the chain of ganglia which lie close to the spinal cord and are associated with the with their cross neurons. Here the connection you can see. Automatic nervous system is primarily a motor system. Okay, it is a motor system which is consist of neurons that controls the functioning of many organs like heart muscles. Okay, heart muscles, glands are controlled with this. So blood vessels, digestive tracts, respiratory tract, reproductive tract, which are included with very smooth muscles. Okay, they are also. Okay, many organs automatically, they even without thinking, such heart muscles, pumping of heart, anyone is telling or what, of its own only it is pumping, right? So this is controlled by the automatic nervous system. So automatic nervous system will regulate the working of the internal organs of our body involuntarily of its own. Okay, next come to the voluntary nervous system. What is this voluntary? Which are under control. The word, with the word you can understand, which is under the control. So first it helps to take voluntary actions which are under the conscious control of the mind. Suppose for examples, with examples only you can understand. So this voluntary nervous system which helps to take voluntary actions. For examples, when you see time of the watch, it sends the information to the brain through the sensory nerves, and you can analyze it very fast. When you are walking down to school at a slow pace, after covering some distance, we look at our watch and find that we are getting late. So what we do, we start walking very fast. We can do this because of the voluntary nervous system. How it takes place? It sends the information to the brain through the sensory nerves. First thing it does. Next, the brain analyzes the information and decides that there is a risk of being late to school, so we walk very fast. Then the brain sends the instruction to walk very fast to the muscles of our legs. Okay, so these many things are going on. Your eyes watched. Okay, it received the information, your brain has given the information to muscles. Okay, muscles of your legs through motor nerves, and the muscles of the legs, what they do, it starts walking fast. Okay, so complete information is received and the action is done. So this is a very easy example to understand this voluntary action and the decision which takes the voluntary action which has made by voluntary nervous system. Okay, it is under the conscious control of our brain. Okay, so eyes has watched the watch. So your brain got the information that you are getting late, and your brain has given the information to muscles of the legs to walk very fast, and you reach to your destination in a quick pace. Okay, and now the very important topic, central nervous system. This chapter is also very interesting. Hope you like it till now. The peripheral nervous system, PNS, automatic nervous system, involuntary actions, everything we have discussed. Voluntary nervous system, involuntary nervous system. So now the very important part of the chapter, that is central nervous system. Okay, which collects information from all the receptors and action is done. So this central nervous system, mainly it is consist of brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord, these two things only controls the complete system. How the telephone exchange will exchanging the information with the ingoing and outgoing wires. So this central nervous system is responsible for the control and coordination of the activity in the nervous system. Okay, so the work of the nervous system is to direct the incoming messages to the motor neurons which are connected to the parts of the body and respond according to the stimulus. Okay, So the central nervous system, it enables a person to give more appropriate and more intelligent responses to the various situations. Each and every one will think in a different way. That's why the behavior also vary according to the changing situations. Okay. If you pick a very hot plate in the kitchen, what you will do? Immediately you will withdraw your hand. So that is your reflex action, which is produced by the spinal cord, which alone says that we should pull away our hand. Okay, and we pull it off. So the central nervous system will consider the two messages together. It may be then decide to send a message to our muscles to tell them to put it down, or not to drop, also put it down slowly. So two informations it is receiving. When you are holding the hot plate, your brain is telling it to leave the plate gently or drop it. Okay, accordingly you respond. Okay, so main job of the central nervous system, which collects the information from all the receptors, okay, and add together before messages are sent out to the effectors. The information is completely adding the best action that can be taken in the particular set of circumstances. So here the main things which are involved: nervous system, brain and spinal cord. These, the brain and spinal cord are included. So in detail we are going to discuss about our brain now. So here is our structure of brain. So this diagram is very important. Okay, human brain is a highly developed organ which is situated in the cranium. Okay, which is situated in the cranium, which is a bony box. Okay, bony box of the skull. Where is this cranium present? In the skull. Okay, it is around, brain is around a weight of 1200 to 1400 grams, which is covered on the outside with a three membranes called as meninges. Okay, three membranes, that is called as, that's why it is called as meninges. In singular it is called as meninx. Meninx. Okay, the outer tough protector layer is called as dura mater. Dura mater, which is formed by a fibrous tissues, and the cerebrospinal fluid, which fills the spaces between the meninges and also brain cavities or the ventricles. The fluid which protects the brain from the shocks. What is that called as? The fluid? Cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. It is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. So how this is differentiated? If you see the divisions of the human brain, it is differentiated into three: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Okay, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. What are the three? Forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Okay, divisions of the human brain. So these forebrain are responsible for the olfactory lobes, cerebrum and diencephalon. Color I will change. Okay, it is responsible for olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and in detail we will read, don't worry. Okay, olfactory lobes, cerebrum and diencephalon. So these olfactory lobes are a pair of very small club shape which are responsible only in the ventral view of the brain, which is responsible remain fully covered by the cerebrum. So it is with the four olfactory we have discussed olfactory receptors. It is mainly responsible for the center of the smell. Okay, nose part, central of the smell it is. Next one is cerebrum. Cerebrum which governs the mental abilities like thinking, reasoning, learning, memorizing and intelligence, which controls the will, emotions and speeches also, which enables us to see the things, observe the things around us. The cerebrum part is responsible. It is the largest, highly developed, most prominent part of the brain, which is divided into two parts cerebral, two cerebral hemispheres, right hemisphere and left hemisphere, which is separated with a center gap between that, which is called as median longitudinal groove, which is called as medium longitudinal groove. A thick band of nerve fibers which are called as corpus callosum, which connects the two hemispheres. Understood? So this is about cerebrum. Cerebrum is responsible for the, which controls the voluntary activity, seat of intelligence it is called as. Okay. The part of the cerebrum part can control the feelings like love, admiration, hatred, everything. All the voluntary actions of our body is controlled by the, coordinated by the cerebrum part. And the next one is called as diencephalon, which is mainly consist of pineal glands, pituitary glands, thalamus part, pituitary glands, okay, thalamus part and hypothalamus. These all parts are responsible for the this diencephalon. Okay, so it only this diencephalon only possess the control units of the body temperature, hunger, thirst and sleep. Okay, so forebrain is very very important. Almost everything is taking place, every activity is going on there only. Next part is called as midbrain, which is for optic lobes. Optic lobes. This midbrain is a thick walled structure which is constitute a comparatively smaller portion of the brain. Okay, so it is consist of four optic lobes which is concerned for the vision part, optic lobes. Next one is called as hindbrain. So it has three main centers. Cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. Okay, cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. So this cerebellum part, if you see, it is situated in the dorsal region of the hindbrain. Okay, it maintains the equilibrium and controls postures. Cerebellum is responsible for the dorsal. It is actually present at the dorsal region of the hindbrain, which maintains the equilibrium and controls the posture. The movement should be very smooth, steady and coordinated. These all things were controlled by cerebellum. Next one is called as pons, which helps in the respiration part. So complete respiration part is responsible by the pons part. So it is as a transverse wave track from the cerebrum to the cerebellum. Okay, olfactory we said no, nose parts, olfactory lobe. So this completely they are connected. Pons part is responsible for the respiration. Next one is medulla oblongata. It is the main component of the hindbrain, which is present at the lowest part of the brain, which extends into the spinal cord. This medulla oblongata only extends into a spinal cord. So the functions of this is all the vital reflex actions, reflex center, cardiac center, center for swallowing, sneezing, coughing, vomiting. These all are controlled by medulla oblongata. So all the involuntary actions like peristalsis, when you are eating, the movement of the food through the esophagus, the breathing part, swallowing anything, heartbeat, these all are controlled by the medulla oblongata. So this is about the brain. So the major divisions of the brain, which in brief you can listen one more. So forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain is which processes the sensory information, helps with reasoning and problem solving, and regulates the automatic endocrine and motor functions. Midbrain, very important, helps to regulate movement and process auditory and visual information. Next, very important is hindbrain, helps to regulate the autonomic functions, relay sensory information, coordinate movements, and maintain balance and equilibrium. Okay, so these are the three major divisions of the brain: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Okay. So next, about spinal cord in brief. Let us understand about spinal cord in brief. In tomorrow's session, I will do about endocrine glands, about hormonal system, about hormones we will discuss. So this is the spinal cord, this is the structure. The medulla oblongata, it has extended to form the spinal cord. Spinal cord is a cylindrical structure. The spinal cord is which begins in continuation with the medulla. Here we have discussed about medulla, this part here medulla, and extends downwards. It is enclosed in a bony case which is called as vertebral column. What is it called as? Vertebral column. So it has membranes which are called as meninges. Spinal cord is the surrounded with so many membranes. They are called as meninges. So here how many pairs of? 31 pairs of nerves arises from the spinal cord. So the spinal cord is concerned with spinal reflex actions and conduction of nerve impulses to and from the brain. Okay. So here the brain receives the information carrying the nerve impulses from all the sensory organs of the body, and particular action for that particular situation brain only decides. Okay, next the brain responds to the stimulus brought in by the sensory organs by sending its own instructions through motor nerves to the muscles and the glands, which are causing them to function accordingly. Okay, the intelligent responses, the appropriate result to give, the brain correlates with the various stimuli from different sense organs and produces it. Okay, so brain only coordinates the body activities, so the mechanism and chemical reactions of the body, they work together efficiently. So it stores the information so that behavior can be modified according to the past experience. So this function makes the brain and the organ of thought and intelligence in a particular manner. So these all which it takes place, various functions. So in brief, if you see what are the functions of spinal cord, it is the center for reflex action. It conducts the impulses from and towards the brain. It mediates most of the involuntary activities. So this is about the control and coordination in human beings. Hope I am clear. So here is the small answer which you have to copy. Very important answer. How does this nerve impulse carries? The dendrite end of the neuron collects the information and triggers a chemical reaction which results in an electric impulse. This impulse is transmitted from the dendrite to the cell body and then to the axon. From the axon, the impulse travels to its ends, where the electrical impulses sets off the release of the some more chemicals. So the chemicals across the synapse and start a similar electric impulse in the dendrite of the next neuron. In this way, the impulses are transmitted from one neuron to the another, and finally it reaches to the brain and you take the action. Okay, your muscles take the action, your muscles and bones take the actions for the movement of the body according to the situation. So these two answers you have to write down in the comment section. Whoever will answer first, I am going to give a shout out in the next class. Write down in the comment section. first 5 names will be get shout out in the next class. Okay, next class is related to the endocrine system. So hope I am clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. नीचे description box में my telegram link is given. You can join me in that and you can ask your doubts regarding science, anything. Okay, so ऑल द बेस्ट माय डियर स्टूडेंट. सब्सक्राइब माय चैनल, जितना ज़्यादा हो सके अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ शेयर करो, उनको भी सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए बोलो, लाइक करने के लिए बोलो. होप आई एम क्लियर. सो बी स्ट्रांग एंड बी कॉन्फिडेंट. ऑल द बेस्ट. बाय बाय. टेक केयर.